So Mortal Engines is a new post-apocalyptic film in which the apocalypse happened and now all the cities and towns of the world are mobilized, they move around and they prey on each other. And the story revolves around this girl called Hester who's trying to kill Hugo Weaving because Hugo Weaving killed her mum back in the day. Hugo Weaving plays the main villain of the film. He's got his own evil plot brewing behind the scenes in London. So along with this guy from London called Tom, Hester's got to figure out how to confront Hugo Weaving and how to stop London from destroying all the rebels who are living out in the east. Now for the first I'd say 15 to 20 minutes of this film, I was actually surprisingly enjoying it. It sets up the world pretty well and I like the film's premise of the cities mobilizing and preying on the other cities. The opening action scene with London going after this small settlement was actually kind of exciting. So after that first 20 minutes I was like, wow, this might actually be a surprisingly entertaining film. But the second the two lead characters escape from London and they're in the marshlands, the film takes a massive nosedive into mediocrity. Let's start off with the characters. I did not care about a single person in this film for two reasons. The first one being they're all hollow as hell, not very much going on under the surface with most of them. They try doing the most depth with the main character, obviously because she's the main character. She has the backstory where her mum died. They try and make her really empathetic, but you don't care because she's such a blah person. She has very little personality. And the second reason being that all the actors just phone in their performances and don't give anything to their roles. They just go for the generic line delivery, especially the main guy, the Tom character. I just could not stand that dude's genericness. Every time he was on screen and he was speaking, he just irritated the crap out of me because he's always talking like, don't worry, we'll go and get them back, I swear. He sounds like a CBeebies kids show presenter. There's a couple of times where they get into a skirmish and Hester has to decide whether to leave him behind because he's in mortal danger, and I'm just sitting there going, leave the guy behind, the dude's annoying as hell, plus he's just baggage, you have to save his ass every 5 seconds, so just leave him behind. And Hugo Weaving as the villain was completely wasted. His character was completely one note, completely conventional. He just wants the power. That's literally his motivation. He just wants power and he just wants the ultimate domination over the entire land. The story is incredibly formulaic, it's cliched, it's predictable as hell. You've seen a variation of this story in lots of other films before, specifically like young adult dystopian films. This film's not a YA film because they're not young adults, but you've seen this kind of stuff in YA films before. You've got the evil empire capital who's just trying to wreak havoc upon the land. You've got the resistance who are rebelling against the evil empire. You've got the main protagonist who of course is the only one who can stop the evil people from winning. We've all been here before, and if you go and watch this film you're just going to be there again. Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about the romance, because of course there just has to be a romance in this film, and it's between the two lead characters and it is complete bullshit. You do not buy it whatsoever, and they do the classic formula where they meet each other, they don't like each other, she doesn't like him because he's a liability, and they eventually fall in love, I suppose. The last few lines of the film are complete cringe. Yeah, oh my god, I hated that so much. And then you get to the climax of the film, and I've seen a few people say this, but it completely rips off Star Wars. And yes, I understand the film's based off a book, so if it's being accurate to the book, then fine, fair enough, but you can't help but watch the finale of this film. One plot twist especially where you're like, oh my god, Star Wars. They just, it's Star Wars plot twist in the third act of Mortal Engines. It's one of those films that you want to like way more than you end up liking it because of the cool premise that it has, with the moving cities preying on each other. It was a really cool spin on the post-apocalyptic genre. But at the end of the day, the concept of a film can only take it so far. You've got to inherit it with good story and good characters for you to get invested in it, and this film just did not do that for me, unfortunately. Some really good visual effects. That's the biggest positive in this film. The visual effects are really, really neat. But beyond that, nothing else in this film really worked that well for me. I'm going to give Mortal Engines a 2 out of 5. And yes, Ray Dave, another 2 out of 5. It's depressing as hell, but I gotta be honest with you guys. So did any of you guys see Mortal Engines? What did you think about it? Did you read the book? Was it a good adaptation from the book? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. And if you want to see more of my stuff, click on one of these things in a second, and I'll see you all next time.